Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the Thai Expat Daily Show. I'm your host, Kieran Mack, as always, and delighted you've been able to tune in with us yet again for another show. Now, before we do get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when the next podcast or live stream is available on the platform. Now, if you like listening to us on a podcast player, there's a link down below in the description where a vast array of podcast players can be found. And finally, if you want to support the show, the easiest and best way is to become a channel member. Details down below in the description. But now that's all done and dusted, let's jump into those trending stories here in Thailand today. In a stark reminder of the dangers on Thailand's roads, the latest statistics reveal a total death toll of 12,132 lives lost so far this year, with over 742,000 injuries recorded. These alarming figures, updated as of November 17th, highlight the persistent public crisis posed by road traffic accidents. Now, in the past 24 hours alone, 21 people have died and 2,179 have been injured in road traffic accidents. This follows a similarly devastating pattern for the previous day, which saw 25 fatalities and 2,593 injuries. Now, key insights from these statistics. The highest percentage of deaths occurred among individuals aged 36 to 60 years old at 37%, followed by the age 25 to 35 at 21%. Young adults aged 19 to 24 accounted for 10% of fatalities, while children aged 1 to 14 represented 5%. Now, men are disproportionately affected, making up 75% of road deaths, compared to 25% for women. Now, motorcycles remain the leading cause of road fatalities, responsible for a staggering 83% of deaths, while cars accounted for the remaining 17%. Now, fatalities peak in the evening hours, with the highest number of deaths recorded at 857 cases in a single month. Now, compared to the same period in 2023, road deaths in 2024 show no significant decline despite efforts to improve road safety. The data underscores the urgency for stricter enforcement of traffic laws, improved road infrastructure, and public education campaigns. The reliance on motorcycles as a primary mode of transportation, coupled with inadequate safety measures, highlights an area requiring immediate attention. Advocates are calling for helmet mandates, speed limit enforcement, and public awareness to address the root cause of these preventable tragedies. As Thailand faces yet another year with sobering road death statistics, the question remains, what more can be done to save lives and make the country's roads safer for everyone? I'd love to know your thoughts on this down below in the comments section. Now imagine this, you've worked your entire life, paid into the system, and now you're retired in the sunshine of Thailand or Australia, enjoying the fruits of your labour. But there's a catch. Because of where you live, your UK state pension doesn't keep up with inflation. And now, thanks to a new law on the horizon, even the British expats who do manage to receive annual increases could soon lose their financial privacy. So let's unpack this. The Data Protection and Digital Information Bill, currently making its way through the House of Lords, is set to go live in 2025. Once passed, it will force UK banks to share account information with the Department for Works and Pensions if there's even a sniff of fraud. Now, on the surface, this might sound fair enough. After all, the DWP says it's losing £100 million a year to expats who break the rules. The big no-no? Well, pretending you live in a country that qualifies for annual pension increases when, in reality, you're somewhere like, well, Thailand, where such perks don't apply. But here's where it gets kind of interesting. Take, for instance, the story of the man living in Pattaya whose neighbour blew the whistle by scribbling a note on a returned letter, "Lucky Saad lives in Pattaya," or the guy whose wife thought he was working hard in Baghdad only to discover he was living it up in Bangkok. Funny? Well, maybe, but let's not lose sight of the bigger picture in all of this. There are around 500,000 Brits abroad with so-called frozen pensions, pensions that never rise with the inflation simply because of where they live. It's a quirk of the system that rewards some retirees in countries like the EU and punishes others in places like Australia and Thailand. And here's the rub. Fraud might grab the headlines, but the real scandal is how unfairly these pensioners are treated in the first place. Why should it matter whether you're retired in France or Phuket? Why should hard-earned pensions be frozen because of an arbitrary postcode lottery? And it gets worse. The DWP demands proof of life every 3 years to continue payments. Fair enough, but these letters are sent by regular post through an agency in Holland, and many never make it to their destination. If you don't reply, your pension gets suspended. No warning, no safety net. Frank Weston, who's age 68 based in Pattaya, summed it up. The whole system is insane and discriminatory. And he's not wrong. A digital solution could fix this, but where's the political will? So here's the question. Is this really about fraud, or are we turning the screws on a vulnerable group while ignoring the glaring inequalities baked into their system? Your thoughts, as always, down below in that comment section. Imagine returning from a festive family outing to find your home ransacked and valuables worth nearly 4 million baht gone. Well, that's what happened to an Australian businesswoman in Pattaya during the Loy Krathong festival. But in a swift turn of events, Pattaya police apprehended the culprit just hours after the crime. And here's where the story takes a surprising twist. The perpetrator was a 14-year-old boy. Now, on the evening of November 16th, Miss Annie, a 40-year-old Australian real estate professional, arrived at the Pattaya police station to reclaim her stolen belongings. Now, among the recovered items was a Rolex, a Cartier watch, gold necklaces, and diamond jewellery, and more. She expressed relief and gratitude to the police for their quick actions, which led to the arrest of the suspect, identified through CCTV footage as Chang, a 14-year-old Lao national. So how did this actually happen? Well, on the night of November 15th, Miss Annie had taken her family to a pool villa in Bang Sarai for Loy Krathong, leaving her condo in central Pattaya at around 2:20 p.m. Now, by the time she returned the next morning, her room had been ransacked, with drawers emptied of their valuables. CCTV footage showed the young suspect sneaking into the building at 2:10 a.m. through a side entrance. He broke into Miss Annie's room via a glass door, looted it, and left on foot at around 4 a.m. Police tracked his movements through CCTV footage along the escape route and arrested him near the Nong Or Temple, 5.7 kilometers away. Now here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. Now during questioning, the boy appeared disorientated and admitted to the crime, pleading with Miss Annie not to press charges. He claimed to have autism and asked for help rather than punishment. Now Miss Annie, while grateful for the police efforts, expressed hope that government officials could provide proper care and support for the boy to help him find a better path. This wasn't the first time the boy had been in trouble. Just days earlier, on November 11th, he had been placed in Banglamung Children's Home after an attempted burglary. But he escaped on November 14th, 3 days before this latest theft. And it doesn't stop there. Additional victims have come forward, identifying the boy as the culprit behind multiple other thefts, including the stealing of over 20 amulets from a rental room on Loy Krathong night. Now, this case raises tough questions about how to handle young offenders, especially those with possible disabilities. Should the focus be on punishment, or should there be more done to provide the care and guidance needed to turn their lives around? What's your take on this? Let us know down below in the comments section. Now here's a shocking story out of Pattaya. A 41-year-old Russian real estate agent, identified as Anna, was assaulted by a motorcycle taxi driver from the ride-hailing app Bolt after asking him to reduce his speed during a late-night ride. Now, the incident occurred early Sunday morning as Anna was traveling from her residence. Without a helmet and concerned about the driver's high speed, Anna asked him to slow down. That request escalated into a heated argument. Now, according to her complaint, the motorcyclist became enraged, pulled over near a traffic kiosk, and punched her multiple times in the face. Anna suffered a bruised face and a broken lip. The situation only ended when a Good Samaritan intervened, prompting the driver to flee the scene. Now, that Good Samaritan, Surasak Burapan, a 45-year-old technician from the Royal Cliff Beach Hotel. Surasak was driving home when he spotted the altercation and stepped in to de-escalate. Upon seeing Anna bleeding, he brought her to the Muang Pattaya police station to file a complaint. Speaking to police, Surasak said, "I saw them arguing and then I saw blood coming from her mouth. I stopped to help, even though I didn't know what had happened." Anna provided police with a video clip of the incident showing the attacker as a skinny, tall man in his early 20s with a dark complexion. The footage also captured the driver filming Anna, claiming she hadn't paid her fare before speeding off. This incident raises serious concerns about passenger safety in ride-hailing services. How should companies like Bolt respond to ensure passengers are protected? And here's one for you today. If you were in a situation like this, would you feel safe intervening like Surasak did? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section as always.